Hi, everyone. It's Mrs. Sokolowski, and I just wanted to take some time to explain to you about a fun optional writing challenge that our class will be participating in starting April 1st. It's called the April 2021 Classroom Slice of Life Story Challenge, and it's sponsored by the Two Writing Teachers website. The Two Writing Teachers is a blog that I'm part of. So here is what the blog looks like. It is a blog that teachers read to learn more about the teaching of writing. I have been part of the team since 2015. And you can see there I am. And so one of the things that we do in March is we hold a blogging challenge for educators to blog every day for the month of March. Every day you have to write a blog post and comment on other bloggers' posts. So I've been doing that challenge for the past 6 years. I'm about to wrap up my 6th year of blogging every day in March, which is a challenge, but definitely teaches me a lot about the craft of writing and about what it means to be a writer. So in April, we offer the opportunity to do the same challenge for students. And again, a challenge for kids to every day think of something to write and blog about it. So we are going to give this a try this year in our class, and I want to tell you more about it. So the way the challenge works is from April 1st to April 30th, students are invited to write a blog post each day on our KidBlog site. Ideally, the post would be a slice of life, which is a personal narrative. It's a short story from your day. If you think of like a slice of pie, right, the pie would be your whole life. But a slice is just that one moment or that one kind of interesting thing that happened that day. And then the students are expected, or hopefully they would comment on each other's posts by writing something thoughtful and letting the writer know that they read their piece and they liked it. Um, so students would be doing this on KidBlog. And why are we doing it? We're doing it to grow as writers, to get to know each other better by reading each other's stories, to take on a fun challenge, to push ourselves to try something new. Okay, so students can earn badges and then possibly prizes. So I'll show you what our badges look like. There's lots of different badges that can be earned. Some of the badges are about the actual time that you would blog. So there's a bronze weekend writer badge. So if a student blogged one day on the weekend, they could get that badge. If a student blogged 2 days on the weekend during the whole month of April, so maybe they blogged the first Saturday and then the last Saturday, that would be enough to get this badge. And the gold weekend writer badge would be there were 4 different weekend days that a student wrote a blog post. Um, and then there's the Reliable Writer Badge, where if a student writes for 5 days in a row. The Silver Reliable Writer Badge, if they write for 15 days. And the Gold Reliable Writer Badge, if they write for 25 days altogether. It doesn't have to be in a row. Then there's badges for commenting. There's badges for writing a blog post in a poem. There's a badge for if a student looks at an object in the room and that inspires the blog post. That's another badge. There's a badge for writing a review. So let's say a student read a book that they really enjoyed. They could write a review of the book, or it could be even a movie that they saw at home that they thought was really interesting or good. They could review that. Really, anything could be reviewed. It could be a toy that's reviewed, a place, a restaurant, any type of review, and earn that badge. And then there's some new badges that I added last year that help students with the craft of writing. There's a badge for using dialogue in their writing. There's a badge for using onomatopoeia, for using an effective hook, for using punctuation in interesting ways to show voice. And I'll be sharing different lessons with the students throughout April that speak to some of these topics and ideas. But they can just give it a try, right? Even if they don't know exactly how to write a review, they can just still give it a shot. And then we will be working on teaching them some of those skills as well. So those are the different badges that they can earn. And so if students earn 5 badges, they'll get a certificate for their effort. If they earn 7 badges, then they will be eligible for prizes. So I usually purchase different prizes for students during this challenge, many of them literacy related. So new markers or colored pens, different books, notepads, things like that. And so if a student earns 7 badges, they could be in the raffle to earn one of these prizes. If a student earns 10 or more badges, then they get their name put in our Blogging Hall of Fame and their picture taken for their excellent effort. This challenge will help us to grow in our writing skills and our stamina. It helps us to connect with each other. This is also not just our class, there are classes throughout the country and even some international classes that participate. And we are able to comment on student writing from those classes so they can actually read writing from other kids around the world. One thing you could do is share your child's blog post with family members. I know right now it's hard with social distancing, and many families aren't seeing extended relatives. So you could share the blog post with family members, and they can feel a little bit more connected to your child and your family. And you could actually register on KidBlog and then be like a registered person who could comment. Otherwise, you could comment as a guest. So if you click here, I'll send you the presentation link so you can click it. You would be able to enter the code TQI55B8 and you could register and sign up on our page. Okay, I'll send you this presentation and there's some links that you could read more about the challenge if you are curious or have questions. I am the author on the Two Writing Teachers team who organizes the challenge. So I've written a bunch of different posts about what it's all about and how I've used it in my classroom in the past. So this will tell you a little bit about how this has worked in third grade before. And so the students are going to be bringing home a packet tomorrow that will go over all the details of where they keep track of their writing. They'll have a packet to write down the name of the blog post that they write, and they'll check off what type of post it is, if they wrote a poem, or if they wrote a review, and then if they tried any craft move in their writing. So the first few days of the challenge, they might not really know what to click for that, what to check off, and that's okay. Even if they're just writing and writing down the name of their post and who they commented on, that would help. I'll show you what that looks like, just so you can see what a page in that packet will look like. It's gonna And then once we get back to school after the April break, I can definitely give the students more information and teach into some of these ideas a little bit more fully. Okay, so this is something that the students would see an example from their packet that you will see tomorrow. So it has the date. This is near the end of the month, but it will start with Thursday, April 1st. The students should write down the title of their blog post, and then they'll check off what type of post it was. If it was just a regular slice of life, writing about something in their day, if it was a review, if they wrote a post to thank someone, they could just check it off. And then if they try to maybe use dialogue in their writing, or they maybe had an interesting lead, they could check that off. And then they'll write down who they commented on, what post they wrote a comment. All of this information helps me to award the badges, right? So students have to keep track and they have to hand their packet in on Tuesdays during the challenge. This will help me to award the badges, right? If they don't write down what they're doing, it's very difficult for me to go back and see what they've done. So they do need to fill this out if they do want to earn badges. So that is our challenge in a nutshell. Thanks so much for listening and watching, and look for the packet tomorrow. And please let me know if you have any questions. I can't wait to read the students' writing.